Hmm.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TSF Reviews. And today we are going to be joined by Hassan, Sohaib, and Kinza.
Hey.
Kanza, sorry. I don't know why I made that mistake.
Hello.
Ha- And
Ouch.
He did it on
and
purpose.
That is very fair.
uh, and in this episode we will be reviewing. So I'm
Hmm.
sure everyone is very excited for this review episode. Let's start off with Hassan. Your thoughts?
Okay, yeah. Again, quick spoiler warning. We're not gonna hold back on anything. Just like to get it out there. But perfect is the one word I would use for it. I it's it is everything I wanted from the Invincible show and a little bit more. This is the best adaptation I've ever seen, honestly. I'd go that far right now. Maybe I'm a little excited, but I would go that far.
Very well. Kanza.
I absolutely loved it. I mean, it is everything good that they could have picked up from the comics and put it in a show. It's like this straight up ripped some pages from the comic book and they were like, here, you wanted a show, you got one. Amazing.
Yeah, I have not read the comics. I think Amar and I are the only ones in this podcast who haven't read the comics before this, and I went in with absolutely zero expectations, zero knowledge about this, and I absolutely fell in love with this show, episode by episode. Just amazing stuff, amazing series. Uh, I think perfect. That the way Hassan described it, pretty much it.
Okay, so natural. I did not know about the comics until I saw the first episode, and it shocked me to know that there was by Image Comics, which is one of my favorite comic companies, because of the my favorite series, which is Spawn. Like apart from Batman,
Yeah.
Spawn is my favorite comic series to read. So when I found out that this was by Image Comics, I was disappointed in myself. How did I not know about this? So when I watched the first episode, I was impressed until the last 10 minutes. Then I was like eyes glued to the TV situation. Like, what just happened? That went from 0 to 100 really fast.
Yeah. Everyone has that reaction when that happens.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching this with a few other people, and I was waiting for that moment to happen in episode one when I was watching it, because I remember going through it myself, and I was reading volume one, and I flipped a page to it, and just I'm at work taking a break. I'm sitting there stunned, and the person who got me into this, shout out to Nabil, you know him, Amar,
Yeah, I know.
our yeah. Uh, and I just let him know, and he looks back at me like when it happens, and understanding what he felt actually added to my experience when I finally got to see it happen to someone else.
I mean, honestly, same here because, like, I was actually recommended the comics through a different friend of mine from back in like the eighth grade. So when I first read the comics, this was like when Sherlock season 2 was supposed to come out. And the first time I read them, I was actually sitting in the schoolyard and I actually went, holy hell, what just happened? And since then, I've been obsessed. And then when they finally started announcing the show for it, I was like, finally, please do not disappoint me. Let the gory stuff stay. Let all that murder happen.
Yeah. I mean, same for me. I was thinking of, something might happen, but not on this level. I mean, that was like, that was like that meme that things escalated quickly. It was like too quickly for me, even. And,
Yeah.
but it was a great scene. It was a great scene. And, to get me into the show, for having not seen or read anything before, this got me like, yeah, I'm in.
I think one of the big things that does right for why it's so good is because the creator Robert Kirkman, also of the Walking Dead fame, is like directly involved. He directed episodes. I wrote episodes one and the last episode. Not sure if he directed it, but he wrote those two. So
Uh,
that's another big reason why it just feels so good.
Everything from that last scene in the first episode to the build up of the finale was done perfectly. Everything was just perfectly paced. And like I mentioned, I did not watch or like I did not read anything about Invincible. And I had, as soon as I saw the first episode, I had a theory about Omni-Man.
Yeah.
I told a lot of people my theories. I told Kanza, I told Sahib, I told Mubarak. I told Omer, and I know Omer read the comments. I think he was trying to like throw me off.
He hasn't.
He
He
hasn't.
hasn't. Just by the way.
So yeah. So to know that a big aspect of my theory was spot on.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what?
so
What did you think was going to happen?
No, the thing is that I heard his backstory about people from Viltrum being saviors of planets. So I was like, okay, this is going good. It's like a nice Clark Kent kind of
Yeah.
story going on here, and I kind of like that. People adapted a lot these days, so it's nice. It's still nice.
Mhm.
Then, as soon as he beats the crap out of the Guardians of the Globe, by the way, a whole new meaning for the word Red Rush.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I mean,
Hey, I felt bad for Red Rush.
oh,
And one more joke before I continue. Green Ghost is not very green on the inside, is she?
and okay.
You've had it for a while now.
And very poorly named Immortal. But moving on.
Oh, for sure.
Look, in
Poor
Immortal's
guy,
defense,
honestly.
because I really love that character, he is immortal in a way. He comes
I
back
mean,
stronger
yeah,
every time.
technically, yeah. I mean, he lived up to his name in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Especially in a later episode, he does prove it. He does prove it. But yeah, the meaning that as soon as I saw the global massacre of episode 1, I told Amir the theory is he is not a savior, he is a conqueror. And
Okay, yeah, you were
Yeah.
spot
Yeah.
on
But
there.
like spot on.
because it didn't make sense. It made the entire thing did not make sense. The only thing that didn't make sense to me is that okay, fine. Let's suppose he is a conqueror. The only thing that doesn't make sense is why did he wait for Mark to get his powers before he went apeshit?
Yeah.
You'll find out. That's all I
Yeah.
can say.
Yeah.
So yeah, Omer and I had a theory. Omer's theory was that Omni was supposed to be the sole protector. So the thing that they showed in the first episode a lot was the rage that Mark and Omni-Man had about getting the powers. Like how Mark wanted to punch something really hard, and then ever since Mark got his powers, he's been a little extra angry. Nolan,
Mhm.
right? So Omer's theory is that because he's supposed to be a soul protector, and now there's two Viltrumites. There's this little rage thing that they need to balance things out. So that was kind of his theory, but in my this entire time, I thought Omer knew about the comic series, and he was just throwing me off.
No, he found out about it like 2 days before like this entire discussion about your them. When you guys
Mhm.
started telling me your theories, and I was just like, and then when you told me the theory, I was like, boy, Omer's gonna hit that. It's just
And
like,
one more thing, like in the finale, that entire fight scene, by the way, phenomenal choreography and animation for the fight
amazing.
scene, right?
I
I
love
had
it.
Omer said that he knows something about this episode, so tell me what you think is gonna happen. I said straight up, as soon as the episode started, I said, okay, obviously, Invincible is not gonna defeat Omni-Man, because that's just too early. So my guess is he's gonna beat him to a pulp, he's gonna gain a conscious, he's gonna fly away. I was like, that is spot on. So
But yeah. In the finale, because we're talking about it right now. Go on. Sorry.
all I can say is that I hate my brain
No,
sometimes.
like I'll let you finish.
I just hate my brain sometimes because I always piece things together very quickly.
Yeah, I tried so hard not to spoil it for you. I was like, oh my god, I should tell him, and then I was like, no, let him get to that himself.
Okay, before I let Hassan continue, all I'm going to tell you guys is that if you had told me that I was right, you would have just boosted my ego. You would not have spoiled it for me.
Yeah,
I would
I know.
I
I
would
had a feeling.
Okay, Hassan, your way.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was going to say was that despite the fact that he reveals a lot in like the finale, they cut out a bunch of stuff that he actually talks to Mark about in the comic book, which would like shed a lot more light on, particularly because I think a lot of reason a question people will raise will be why did Nolan wait, right?
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
arriving, if they really wanted to conquer it, and I'm not gonna spoil that, but there is a whole reason as to why it's done as well.
Yeah, that was the only
Hmm.
thing that bothered me about the finale. Like, and then I was like, okay, maybe they want to wait to introduce it in the next season.
I
Maybe
feel
that's
like
why they
that's what they're
haven't brought
doing.
it up. Like, Omni-Man is gonna come back and he's gonna talk about all these reasons with Mark then. So,
Yep.
who knows?
I
Maybe
again,
because
I have a
I
possible theory, but yeah. So him, you first, and then I will continue.
Yeah.
yeah, about this, I read, there was a post on, I think on comicbook.com or something, that, basically quoted the entire last monologue that Omni-Man gives to Invincible in the comics. And that's, a very detailed speech of how, giving the giving his reasons for, waiting and all
Hmm.
that, but it's given in the comics. But I probably, I agree with Hassan there. They're probably saving it for another season,
Yep.
and obviously also, uh, in a show, it's more action based than dialogue based,
Yeah.
especially animated shows. So they have to keep the pacing running along, because if they had, given it the entire dialogue, it would have taken a lot of the space on the finale.
Yeah. It is a very long speech. It's a
Yeah.
long monologue.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm probably guessing he explains all about how the termites work out, and then explains that why he had to do the things he had to do. I'm pretty sure there was a good explanation of all that in the comics. Um, so my only theory now is that
Yep.
I'm guessing
Hmm.
now in season two, uh, Om- Omni-Man is supposed to like get Earth ready for a Viltrumite invasion. So I'm guessing. Well, obviously, he ran away. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and think that he's gonna conquer another planet to make up for it, and he probably's gonna start a family over there. Maybe, I'm not sure. Either that he just rules the planet or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, another thing that gave away him being a conqueror.
Interesting
He just
theory.
another theory. Another thing about that gave away that he was my whole conqueror theory. When he destroyed that entire invasion army.
Oh, the Flaxons? Yeah.
Yeah, when those came in and I saw him destroying the planet, like, yeah, he's evil. He is evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
He's a
it's
Yeah.
like,
he is meant to be a conqueror. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Because destroying the entire Guardians of the Globe did not give that away.
Yeah.
Oh
well, I
no no
mean,
no no
okay.
no! You see, destroying the guardians. You can throw me off saying that okay, that theory doesn't sound right, but I'll okay with it. I'll go with it. Okay,
Yeah.
like you could say that okay, he was mind controlled. He's still being mind controlled, or he's like something drove him to do it, something like that. You could convince me. But then when I saw him mercilessly wipe out an entire planet,
Yeah,
then
he actually even says like Earth is not yours to conquer when he's doing
yes,
Yeah.
that.
he
And
he
I
Yeah.
was
lit-
like,
he literally says that.
oh,
He literally said that, and I look at him man like, I am right.
I'm
You
right.
know I'm
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so because we're talking about like characters who start off like characters who sort of make you be like, hold on, what are you doing? How did you feel about the things Robot was up to when it started
Oh,
happening before the
Oh,
reveal?
yeah.
okay. So I think if it's okay with all of you, I'll go first, and then Sohaib because we don't know anything about the comics.
Yeah, I'd like you to go.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought Cecil was one of the bad guys. He was like enabling Omni-Man when my theory was starting to look like it's crumbling apart. I was convinced Cecil was in charge of everything. So when I found out what Robot was actually planning, I'm like, oh, his puberty kicked in.
Hey, Robot is 30.
Explain it any other way, dude. He fell for like a 12-year-old looking girl that turns into a monster. What else do you
She's
expect me to think?
25.
She's
Monster Girl is like 25.
just Okay. First of all, if anime has taught us anything, just because you're age 25 and look 12 does not make it okay.
Yeah. Yes. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It,
Yeah.
it is. It is creepy and skeevy. It is. I'll admit it.
Yeah, so what I had built up in my mind, built up to my initial Conqueror theory, and I was like, okay, it's all coming together. It's going to be amazing. So when I found out what he actually did, I'm like, oh, come on. Like, this is
Not this.
you had this,
Anything but this.
you had this amazing opportunity. You could go like Sonic the Hedgehog, Eggman levels of crazy with the ways he was dealing with things, and you turned into, you're like, oh, I have a hots for a girl. I'm gonna turn into a kid. What? Okay. So you go on before I get a migraine from talking about this further.
Yeah, about the robot thing, it was interesting. I really did not enjoy him taking Rexplode's DNA of all people.
Thank you. Thank
Like
you.
he
You know
was
why though?
probably, yeah, he was. I mean, she was taking interest in the Explode of all the other Guardians, but there were better DNAs to take from even within that group, other than Rexplode himself. So,
Uh,
but other than that, I mean, sure, motivations seem a little weird, but assuming if you see it from his perspective, it's okay. It makes sense. I mean, robots. He's not basically a robot, actually. That was pretty much the reveal. And since he is a human, he also gets horny. Anyhow, other than that, it was okay. It was a side quest for and being in gaming. I'm really not a very fan of side quests, so it's okay with me.
I have another question. Uh, I think I have an answer for it myself, but I need someone who's read the comics to explain this to me. Why didn't Robot just create a new body for Monster Girl? Wouldn't that just be easier to let her be fully 25 again?
He would still be a robot, right?
yeah, he could have done that.
It, I mean, he could have done. I mean, you could go both ways, really. Uh, like you could give her the full body that of the 25-year-old again. It'll probably keep going down again because I'm pretty sure the
Okay,
curse and everything.
so to counter this without getting into actual spoiler reveal title within the knowledge of the show,
Mhm.
maybe her curse will interfere with it because she's magically cursed.
That is the answer that is in my head, but I personally don't know how that curse works. Like, would that transfer to the new body and just shrink it, or would that just reset the whole curse thing from the new body? This is why I hate cloning. There's so many
Honestly, I would
complications.
say just wait for season 2 for this. Because I
Yeah,
feel like it's going to be
Probably,
covered then.
probably the curse won't allow the cloning process.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because like
Okay.
again with everything, curses are a very touchy subject when they happen. Like there are a lot of things that can go very wrong. So
Hmm.
I would just say honestly, just wait for season 2. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find out why.
You will.
Okay. Now there's a few more things, and I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I love the villains. The setup for all these
Oh,
villains.
Every
Oh, they're
single
so
one.
good. They're all
oh
so good.
amazing.
I love the clone guys. Those
No,
clone guys are amazing.
the Mauler twins, yeah, they're also
Yes.
Yeah.
voiced by Trigon, by the way, Kevin Michael
Yeah.
Richardson.
Oh
Oh,
shoot.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Trigon from Teen Titans. This has a great cast. We have
Yeah.
We have
We have
Quinto, we
we have
have Jay Simons, we
we have
have
J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man. We have Sandra Oh from Grey's
exactly.
Anatomy as the
yeah.
wife.
Monster Girl is
We
Grady
have
Lyle,
Glenn.
who's known as
Yeah.
Daphne.
We have
Whoa.
Glenn as
Yeah.
Invincible.
I
Glenn from
mean
Walking
they
Dead,
could
obviously.
not have
Yes.
picked a better cast, honestly.
This is an amazing
It's
cast.
yeah. I mean, look, we have Cyborg. What's his name? Black Samson is Carrie Python.
Yeah.
Payton. Carrie Payton. Ugh. Cyborg. It has like it's got every the cast is really good for this. Uh, while we're on voice actors, also, because gonna go to my favorite character. One of my favorite characters in Invincible is Titan.
I
Yeah.
love Titan, honestly.
Yeah, you know who voices him, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm
Who?
just gonna let Amar take a guess.
Why don't you
Just
take a guess? I'll
remind me.
narrow it down. I'll give you a hint. Luke Cage is your hint.
No. Okay, I don't remember the actor's name. Damn it! I don't know that. I don't remember the actor's name. Uh,
It's fine. It's
he,
fine.
remind me. Was he supposed to come to MEFCC?
No,
He wasn't. Okay.
it's Mahershala Ali. You know, also Prowler from Spider Verse.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh.
that's cool.
Okay. This cast is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm as soon as this episode ends, I'm gonna have a meltdown.
Yeah, we can
So
tell.
okay.
Okay,
Uh,
one gripe that I have, everything else
mhm.
in this show is perfect, but only one issue that I had from this show was probably the inconsistency of Omni-Man's powers. In the first episode, we see him fighting the Guardians of the Globe, and he takes a lot of hits, he takes a lot of injuries, and you know he gets hit a lot, and he's unconscious for a lot of time. All right, recovering from that. But then at the end, by the end, he's taking lasers, he's taking nukes, he's taking that laser beam from the sky, and he's not even flinching. Uh, minor attacks aside, I'm talking about the big ones.
Yeah.
Then again, in the final fight, when Invincible hits him with punches in Chicago, he actually lands punches, and at least he's hitting him, and it's affecting him for even a little bit, but it is. But in the sky, when he takes him up in the sky, and Invincible loads an entire punch with his entire power, his cheeks didn't even move. So it was like sort of inconsistent. I mean, sure, Omni-Man is OP. We all get that. But
Yeah.
throughout the season, there were some inconsistencies that I thought. I don't know if it's anything in the comics that he was holding back or something like that, but this is what I felt. I'll let you guys explain that who read the comic.
so you're talking about the Superman complex. Only,
That's
only,
literally it.
only weak when the plot needs it to be weak.
Yeah.
That's
Also, it's just a semi testament to the Guardians and how, like, okay, so we
How
were going to
stronger they
talk
are.
about differences, if it's okay.
Sure.
Comic book
sure.
Guardians don't stand a chance. Like, in this, they hurt him and he faints. In the comic, he shows up,
Exactly.
murders him without even a single problem, and leaves.
I guess they just wanted.
Exactly
I
that.
guess they did that liberty in the show to look like that.
The
That the
dramatic
Guardian
effect.
dramatic effect, show them that they at least had a fighting chance, show a struggle, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have
Uh,
just been like holy shit, but at the same time, not as big as
yes.
a holy shit.
Also, the space laser and
Yeah.
Hail Mary are for the show. That also doesn't happen. Immortal is the only one who shows
Yeah.
up. They fight. Invincible arrives when he rips Immortal in half.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that was like an amazing scene. I mean, I loved how gory they made the show and how well they transferred it from the comics.
Mm,
It was
mm.
just,
I have a strong
I
stomach, and
loved
even
it.
sometimes I was like, uh, mm-mm.
I live for such shows and such movies, so it was just amazing for me.
But yeah,
I
I
mean,
get the inconsistency thing.
the fight scenes were good, and the gore in that was fine. But when he shoves Invincible into that train, oh, I was like, oh god,
Oh
don't.
god.
Oh, that was amazing for
That
me. Oh,
scene,
I'm like, oh, the mental trauma this will leave on
That
silly
exactly.
that
Arquid.
that
oh,
scene alone made Mortal Kombat look like a Teletubbies episode.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
I
but
mean,
oh god.
it just
Mm,
showed how destructive Omni-man could be, and I love that. I mean, that just showed how ruthless he can be towards his
The,
own
Terrifying.
the,
son, even.
exactly.
Leave
And
everybody else alone, but how brutally he beat up his own son. And the only thing that affected him was when Mark was like, I would still have you in the end, dad. The only thing that affected him, and
oh,
I was
that
just
hurt.
like,
Yep.
True.
that was like,
That plus that baseball game flashback really hits a number on you.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
And the
also for the
timing of
show,
the
by the way.
timing of that flashback was very perfect.
I mean,
Oh
with somebody that
yes,
had issues
Yeah.
with because of my father, you guys know,
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
that scene left tears in my eyes. I mean, I
Oof.
was just like, holy hell.
I get
And
it.
could
I
they
get
have
it.
made it any better?
And one thing about this show that I really have to give credit to,
Hmm.
when you're watching a live action show or movie, obviously you get invested into the characters, and if a character dies, you relate more because you actually see a real person dying, and like
Yeah,
Iron Man's death or something like that. And in animated, sure, it's good, but it's not the same because we know it's a cartoon. It's sure Avengers was fictional as well, but the same way, this is fictional, but it's on a cartoonish level. So it's not that
yeah,
you don't get too attached to it, but in this season, and especially in the finale, the deaths of the people, of the public that were dying, they showed that so amazingly that even I was feeling like the pilot that he saves, and Omni-Man just crushes his head, and he's like, I was like, what? Why? He was just a man. Why are you doing this? And then
Exactly.
He's driving a
the
point
woman
home.
he's trying to save, yeah, the woman he's trying to save, and the
Yeah.
building collapses, and only the arm remains. And I was like, oh my god, that was a woman with a child, and
Yep.
you don't get these feelings generally with an
You
animated show, but it was
you
done
Uh-huh.
don't.
that
amazingly.
is true.
Oh, I want to add that you don't see the child after.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Okay, so one thing I want to add is that this show tested my innocence just a little bit, because when the in the finale, episode 7, I saw like the grass scene with the blood driplets, right? And I was thinking, oh, a rain scene that'll add a nice touch to the scene. Then I see the body, I'm like, that's not rain.
No. No. Just like,
It's like,
jeez.
you see like rain effects, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a nice touch. The rain is gonna be perfect. The body hits the ground, and I'm like, oh boy.
That was probably a good moment for the let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh god. Okay. You
These
brought that
raining
up.
men could not have come up in a better role.
You're bringing up those things, and I just want to say, the music in the show, every choice of
Oh,
song is so
True,
perfect.
true,
Especially
true.
going back to Titan, his theme I've listened to multiple times since that.
same
It's Make
here.
Way for the King
Mm.
by, God, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna mess up the name, so I'm not gonna say it because I don't remember. By Ohana Bam. Yeah, that
Remind
song
me,
damn good.
Titan is that stone guy, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that guy was
Yeah.
awesome. One of my
Yes.
favorites.
I love his art as
Absolutely.
well. It is played beautifully.
like at
I
the end
love.
of that episode.
Yes,
Oh, I am
I did
like,
not see that
yeah,
coming.
that.
I love the design. I love the character. I love the name. I love everything. The guy was amazing. And not to think that he's like a king pen the thing combination in this series. But it looks of it anyway, from what I'm seeing.
Oh,
Oh god,
I loved it.
I can't wait to see how he'll be utilized in
You'll
the
see more of
series.
him.
You'll
Yeah,
Yeah.
see him,
Yeah.
you'll see a lot of him.
There was
Oh,
a dragon attacking him at the end, right?
that's
Hmm.
another
On the
minor
very end.
villain.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
One
he's
last
kind
thing.
of like a side quest that's gonna happen in the next
Okay.
season.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, one last thing I'm gonna bring up, and then everybody final thoughts and scores. I love that scene where the Guardians finally got their act together with Black Samson and Monster Girl being ripped to shreds, and then suddenly Rex Cloud is like, "You just fucked up."
Yeah.
Oh, goosebumps, man, goosebumps.
Mm.
Oh, that scene. Oh,
Oh,
True.
That I just we're going over it. I want to bring that up is they don't mention a lot of the villains in that scene's names. They just show them, and all of them have really
Mm,
cool villain names. Well, most of
mm.
them, like the molten lava guy is Magmaniac, and that's just such a cool name.
Oh, that is
Oh,
so cool.
cool.
Magmaniac is an amazing villain, honestly.
Uh, and like the guy with those alien strings and his chest, like Tether Titan, and like they all have really cool names. It's like I just
Nice.
wish they brought them up. Also,
Also,
Battle
wow.
Beast.
Oh yeah, Battle Beast was so cool.
Oh man. I mean,
Oh, I am not gonna
he
name
was
anyone,
more
but
than cool.
yeah, I'm not gonna name anyone, but a certain person should not see images of that person under any circumstances. Kanza, you know who I'm talking about. Under any circumstance. Okay, so uh, let's give in to the final scores. Hassan, your score.
So what do we usually rate out of? Like,
We usually
10.
rate out of 10.
Out of 10.
gosh, you know what? Yeah, I put at the reason of not giving it a 10 out of 10. I've 9.5. There are a few things I see that if I really sit down, I'll find out of it. But initially called it perfect, and it's there. I'll say 9.5. Yeah.
9.5. Kanza.
Honestly, same here because I mean there are like a few tiny things that I would have liked from the comics that they would have given us in this season, but I'm sure they're just saving it for the next. But I
Yeah.
would say 9.5.
Okay. Sahib.
Solid 9. Solid 9. I mean, I would give it a 9.5 as well, but I think it's a solid 9 for me. Definitely. Solid 9.
For me, usually when my brain does all these predictions for shows, it normally ruins it for me. Nothing was ruined for me in this series. Everything was just perfect, and I think I am gonna give it a 10.
Yo.
It's
Okay.
like despite my theory being correct, I mean, like, even when I knew this was the case, I did not expect it to be this good. I did not expect Omni-Man to be that brutal in the finale. I did not expect Omni-Man to be this good in hiding it
Mm.
throughout the entire time. The whole investigative thing, how his, his suspicion, and also I did not bring this guy up because I was wanted to. I don't know why I didn't bring him up. Damien Darkblood.
Oh, love
Oh,
Damien.
loved him. Absolutely loved his whole
Damien was
Rosharek
Mm.
Hellboy thing he was going for.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys alone, 10 out of 10 for me. And our combined scores, the total score for the show is 9.5 out of 10.
Hey.
Uh,
So guys, all in all, an amazing series. For everybody watching,
Definitely.
what did you think about Invincible? Do let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe. And any last words from our audience before we leave?
Well, like I said, if this didn't have a time frame that we needed to end it in, we could have kept going. Because like right now, I have like another hour of just stuff I can talk about.
Well,
So yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
that's
I'm
it.
pretty
There's
sure
so
I'm
much
gonna
here.
end up having multiple conversations.
I am definitely going to now read the comics because this is something that I am definitely going to be interested in. There are,
Yes.
I have a long list of comics I have to read. I have to catch up with Spawn. I have to catch up with Batman. I have to catch up with Power Rangers. I'm putting that all to a pause just to read Invincible right now.
You
So
should,
Dude,
man.
they're like 180 comics or something. I read the first 20 in like 3 hours, and when I first started reading, I read like 45 of them in a day. So like I'll send you the
Yeah.
link even of it. Okay.
There's 25
awesome.
volumes, so have fun.
Perfect. Okay, that is all from our side, guys. Thank you for tuning into TSF Reviews. Thank you for subscribing to the Sabeen Foundation, and we will see you all next time.
Hey, I hope you liked that video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon too. And check out these other videos I have here.